Well, how's everybody doing? This is Harold with Papa Bear's Peppers, and guess what? We made it to 400. Yeah, I've been busy today, just taking care of everything, just getting all these seeds ready to go out. Hold on 1 minute. Let me see if I can't make this. There we go. Yeah, hopefully how you doing out there, everybody? Hey, how you doing, Terry? So we're about at that time, and I'm going to go ahead and here just so you see, it's about Christmas card time. Happens to be 9 envelopes here at the time. So real soon we're getting ready to give away these. Those of you that have given me your address, going out tomorrow. So yeah, been busy today. I still got one last one I need to do that I've got a new name that I had to draw. The name is Joseph Jackson. Hey, Joseph Jackson, if you listen to this, you need to give me your address so I can get these seeds out. They're going to be good seeds, I'm telling you guys. Really good stuff. So, we're going to be giving away some fresh pods. So, what have I been doing today? Been packaging up plungers. Hold on a minute. I got another one out here. I kind of show you guys what I do with these things. You might have seen some of the videos that I've done before. You're entirely welcome, B. Fulton. Yeah, hey, you're entirely welcome. You know what? I enjoy doing it. I like the gardening. I like growing the peppers. It's always been fascinating, and I like the community around it. So this is what I've been packaging for folks today. A little bit of a Christmas present, a little Christmas present shopping time for folks, and they always tend to like. What this does is when you do it, you plunge it from the top right here, and it dispenses the Superhot powder. I have my super blend. So yeah, I might have to one of these days. I might just give one of those away. What the heck, you know? But anyway, everybody, hello out there. Welcome to this show. And you know what? It's time to do. Oh heck, I almost forgot. Made some of my sweet nectar hot sauce. It got a little warm. Those are fermented peppers. So they're a little bit warm. So anyway, hey, this is a shout out to the constant gardener out there. Uh, he really he reached out to his group and they reached out to me, and thank you. I appreciate it. So we're over 400, and so let me go ahead and bring up. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the random comment selector for this one. I got so many things I got to do here. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a random comment selection for this so that it's just, it has nothing to do with me. And hopefully one of you guys that are listening right now are going to get this and it'll be fun. So I'm pulling right now
That is a searing burn.
Excuse me, I'm listening to my own self there. Do the random comment selector. Sorry, I know you can see me, but right now I'm getting all that up. It's been a long day today. So putting up Christmas lights, getting these seeds together for everybody. So just been busy, folks. Yeah, it's that silly season, so I like to do I like to do what I can for giving back to the community, and I feel blessed, and I want to share with everybody out there. So coming up with this random comment selector now, man, I have a lot of fun doing it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, growing the peppers, just getting information out there. It's a really good time. So I've got it up now and getting ready to start this raffle. And here we go. Got it going. Zerker '08. Zerker '08. If you are out there, need you to hit me up at pbpeppers@gmail.com and I'll get these out. 2 days. If within 2 days, I will do another random comment selection from the same one, and we'll go ahead and select again. For everybody out there that have been playing along, hey, I really appreciate it. Hopefully, this is giving you guys stuff to do. It's I know during these trying times, it's been really weird. So you know what, we do what we can to entertain each other, right? So yeah, it's yeah. Hey, everybody that's out there right now, man, I appreciate it. It's cool to see everybody on there right now. We'll be doing another giveaway here soon. I like doing those things. You know what? What is it? Let's see here. Just so you know, I was giving away. I didn't know how much I was going to give away. So if you uh, if you see an envelope like this coming in the mail to you, that's your seeds. They're protected in there, so don't worry about that. Oh, I was going to go ahead. Yeah, you see, I still got some seeds. So those really cool peppers, the death spiral. I'm telling you what, if you get those, if you get the the obsessive gardener, okay, that's my guy right there. I know your name, and so, but I mean, you know what, that guy right there, obsessive gardener. Hey, this is a big shout out to you. You're awesome. Your people over on your channel are awesome. I appreciate it. All of you are awesome. Hey, but if you do these death spiral seeds, if you get a hold of these, if they're in your package, let me tell you what, it's it's a producer. You'll probably pull. Now I've got two of them out in the greenhouse, and I bet you I've plucked them 3 times, and I probably got maybe 200 pods left on it. So yeah, it just kicks them out. I've got chocolate bootlows out there that I'm going to throw into that for Zerker. If you're listening, uh, chocolate bootlows, chocolate marugas. I have Reaper no tails. Those things are awesome. I've never had a pepper that sweet. So, uh, yeah. So that's the giveaway for tonight. We had Zerker '08 from the random comment selector from the video. Uh, only made 4 pods. Holy smokes, mine's out there. I tell you what, out there in the greenhouse and going crazy. Hey, it's my pleasure, obsessive gardener. It's my pleasure. In fact, I know he's going to be having a giveaway soon. I know that's coming soon. He was making mention of that the last time. Good guy to go over and visit as well. Our little gardening community, we try and share tips and tricks. Here's a little something. A lot of times this time of year, people are looking for, you know, the answers. I don't know. You know what I mean? We start searching. This is the time of year we're starting to look for new philosophies, new possibilities. Do yourself a favor and read a book called Teeming with Microbes by Jeff Lowenfels. You can get it on the audible.com if you don't want to read it. You just want to listen to it. Hey, how you doing out there? Koslowski Family Garden. How you doing, bud? But check that book out. I'm telling you what, if you guys, there's you can grow hydroponically, and I know the Kratky method is out there and everything. There's deep water uh, growing, the all of those hydroponics type things. But there's just something about growing when all your microbes are lining up and everything's balanced. And how do I keep producing peppers and not fall? Oh, yeah, I tell you, well, first of all, uh, Pontoon's Pepper Powder asked me a question about how do I get my peppers, my plants that tall and they don't fall over. First of all, this is a huge shout out. I use a product line called Nectar for the Gods. It's calcium based. You kind of NPK is there, but it's calcium is king. How many of you out there, check this out, how many of you out there buy CalMag because you got calcium deficiencies in your plants? Uh, how early do I start my plants? They're started right now. Yeah, I've already got seedlings going in this. See right here, this is a grow tent. Hold on a minute. Somebody asked me, how early do I start? Well, first of all, I haven't stopped over in the greenhouse. This is one of my little seedlings right now. This is oh gosh, see, I got numbers. I have a chart with all the numbers on it. And so I could tell you, this is I keep it on, this is a Moruga Scorpion, this particular one. But I've started quite a bit. Uh, I love the reds, but I'll tell you what, Nectar for the Gods. Uh, oh, that's good, Master of Puppets. The Nectar line. I do a Greek regimen. Do you need to? No, you don't have to. There's a product called One Shot, and you can mix that into your soil. And I swear that you can, it lasts 3 to 6 months. You follow the directions of it. I actually refurbish or rebuild my soil with One Shot. I'll go out to my raised beds. I'll take all my pots and I'll dump them in a pile, and I'll do it in the raised beds. I buy big. I go to Oregon's Constant Gardener, and then I go to, if you want the bigger volumes, you can get a better deal if you go to the Titan site. Uh, you can use a promo code. Now, I'll tell you guys, I don't make money when you guys use a promo code. If they're still not using the 25%, I don't know if Scott still got that running. He had it running through the 30th, but I don't know if it still is. If it's not, you can use promo code all in caps, Papa Bear 20. I'll edit it and put it down in the description block. Now, a lot of times people will look at it and they go, "Well, that looks a little pricey." Sometimes, not really. I mix 10 gallons at a time. I pH my nutrients. Now, here's the thing about this: the way Nectar works, it works optimal. My phone's going crazy. My nutrients work optimal between 6.4 and 6.8. Okay. Now, if you're using synthetic type stuff, that's different. that's really, it's high for some of the synthetics, the crack key or whatever you're doing, those type of things. There's a difference too, is that when you start growing organically and you build that microbial food web in your soil, that's what nectar products do, is they supply and nourish. Now, the calcium based in that is, yes, Nate, it is awesome stuff. The calcium base, now what that does is that goes in your plants and it builds us. So basically, here's how it works: microbial food web. Your roots are feeding off that down in the root zone. And when they take that up, they build a stronger cell wall structure on your plants. So you wonder why a plant can stand 7 feet tall. The things look like little trees at the bottom, and they're very hard. Now, I'll tell you this, I still support them. I'll run a single rod up there, excuse me, to support them. And what I do is, those are 17-gallon Home Depot baskets in the monster greenhouse. And what I do is I just put like lattice stakes and then wrap string around the whole thing. But I've had them snap, and they snap like wood. When you snap a branch off, it gets so hard and so strong. And the one thing too that you'll find out with nectar for the gods, and since you got me on this rant, um, is that you'll probably never ever buy CalMag again, because it used calcium. It doesn't use calcium sulfate salts. It uses calcium nitrates, which the plant uptakes, and the calcium is absorbed immediately. They use another thing I can tell you about that, where a lot of it's going around, is water. If you have well water, that's awesome with nectar for the gods. If you don't, I would recommend not dolomite and not the lime. There's another type of a limestone, but you want to use true limestone, calpril. Mix that into your soil to help your pH balance in your soil. So what happens when you do that, if you're a no-till grower, or this is something that you should be listening to, uh, the water pH is important, even if you're a no-till grower. What ends up happening is that when your pH on your soil, and I have a video on doing a soil slurry, and what you're really measuring there, you're measuring the pH, the moisture of your soil, and also the parts per million. And somebody said, well, how do you know what it is that your parts per million? You're putting it into the soil, so you should have an idea. If you're putting a bunch of manure in there or something, the nitrates, you are getting a lot. And I'll tell you right now, fish manure, they call it fish fertilizer. There's nothing wrong with that. And occasionally I'll even put that in with my nectar. Do I do it often? No. And I rarely do it inside the greenhouse because, well, we all know what that smells like. Worm tea, yes. The in fact, I have worm bins out in the back. That's how I make my soil. I have worm bins. I have 3, 4 of them that are active all the time. But when I do my worms, I use food scraps just like everybody else, but I'm kind of particular. I use Canadian sphagnum peat. I use cocoa core to make up, and then paper, of course. And so it's pretty clean mix. But I do use the worm tea, and that's when I go back to the one shot. That's like, it's a prilled thing, which what that means is, um, prilled is meaning that they didn't cook it to make it. And what Scott does, and I'm going to be going down there to pick up my soil down there at Oregon's Constant Garden. It's just down the south from me. So, but they actually use like a mixer, and things that Scott does there are all in. uh, small quantities. They don't do large quantities. And worm tea, if I see Amanda asking, is it's not the leachate, but when you take worm compost or your compost tea, worm tea, you take the worm castings, and how I do it, I put it into a bag. Now, not everybody does. Some people just let it free boil inside there and steep inside there. Me, I like to put it in a nylon. I actually use a nylon, or you can go get the paint bags, and then you get an aerator in there and get that thing. Well, actually, what I have is a bio blender, and that thing, yes, you can just use an air stone. You can go to Walmart and get an air adapter and get in there as long as it's active. Um, and use, you can use things like that. Uh, but back to what I consider one shot is like almost like a dried worm tea, compost tea. The nutrients that are in that are just, and they slow release. That's the difference. When you're feeding your worm teas, your compost teas, your nectar products, whatever it is that you're doing. Now, I'm a very organic grower, and but when you're doing that, what you're doing is that slow release of that nectar product. That's bringing in a lot of that calcium. The calpril, when you use that, that's a calcium carbonate, which then in turn turns into, with the water, a calcium bicarbonate. Your plants can thrive on that, and you can almost double your production, if not over double your production, just by putting that in there for you. The no-tills, the ones that will they just put a layer on top. A no-till, just to explain that really quick, if you put a layer of, say, compost or worm castings across the top, it just leaches right down through the soil. And then you come in and you'll do another layer later on in the season, and it leaches through down into the soil. So no, worm tea doesn't stink if it's right. Neither does compost. Compost almost has a sweet smell if it's not bad. Whoops. Athena's got her big girl voice on. So anyway, I love talking shop about things like this. Having you folks on there to talk, because I don't rarely get a chance to like have you all pick my brain. And also, hold on, Athena, no, she's going crazy. So somebody must be out front. She's got her big voice on. So, uh, what do you mean by a liquid? How you doing out there, Boss Grows? Do you mean by liquid? So yes, I do. As far as nectar for the gods, I use what's called a Greek regiment. Not cheap to use a Greek regiment, but I really like what it does for the plants, and it embodies everything that a plant can need. I rarely have to give them anything. In fact, these little fellas right here, they're already getting nectar. This has worm castings in it, but they're already getting nectar. I feed them early. Actually, that has some one shot in it too. The thing about nectar is it won't burn your plant. So I'm not freaking out when a plant doesn't have very many leaves. Yeah, I just start going ahead and getting it. The lights that I use, if anybody's concerned, right now I use Spider Farmer lights. I have an SF 2000 in the tent right now, just burning away at it. So it's it's a good light. But back to no-till, that Calpril, what that can do, that's a calcium carbonate again, and you'll be surprised at what you can do by bringing that into your mix and pHing your water when you're, even if you're no-till. Just, I'm running a boogie blue filter, because I'm not a huge grower. If I was bigger, then I would do it different. But I use the Boogie Blue. It's the largest one because that cleans the water, the city water. I don't have well water, so I'm pumping off of city water. Anyway, folks, really enjoying the chat. Uh, I have different compost bins. Amanda, I make my own. You can take two bins and you can put, I'd say 2 inch. Buy a stick of 1.5, 2 inch PVC, and then cut 2 inch pieces and put them in the bottom. Put the other one, drill holes all around the inner one, and put it right in there. And there you go. And then take that lid and put it on. You just have to make sure they can get air and that the holes aren't too big that the worms are leaving. If what you have in your in your worm bin is good, and in fact, I make I've made my own. They're really simple to make. You can actually hot glue a screen over the holes if you think they're too big, and keeps the slugs out somewhat. But yeah, get those worms going. Yes. Uh, Rabbit manure is a very good one too. I've known people that have used that well. But I can tell you this, and I know you've seen a lot of talk on here about worm castings, because that's probably, no kidding, that's probably the best nutrient that you can get that's organic. You can feed your plants worm castings. You ever get a worm being going, you'll see sprouts coming up all over it because it's a very rich nutrient. So I do use worm castings though with my nectar. So yeah, it's not about just using some kind of chemical. It's very organic, and it falls into line with my organics. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so guess what? I can also get fish and bury them too, the fish carcasses. So I get a little extra every now and again, but make sure that if you are though, oh, another thing, this is the off season. This is a good time to do this, and I've done a video on this too. Alfalfa meal. You can go and get the alfalfa pellets from a feed store, water those down, and it'll break up and it'll turn into alfalfa meal. Telling you, go out and get the alfalfa meal and turn it into your beds. I tell you to turn it in. You want it in a little bit, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to start bringing critters in. They like the smell of alfalfa. It's a food source. You got to think about that. But you get that down in. You can even leave it in pellet form and put it down. It's got time to break down right now until the spring. Alfalfa is a very good growth enhancer. It's almost one of the top growth enhancers, right up there with kelp, is alfalfa meal. Just and I have a video down there in my on my page. Go down there and look at that. It's way back that I did this thing on alfalfa, and I broke it down completely about how and what it's going to do. I mean, it'll constantly give. It's actually a nitrogen uh, fixer. So what it does is it'll bring that nitrogen right down to your roots. And when it's in the soil, it'll actually bring it down to your roots. So you get nitrogen right at the roots. Helps them keep green and strong, and it's a natural growth enhancer. So yeah, alfalfa meal. Use the pellets. It's a lot cheaper. You probably get a 50-pound bag for $20. And that's here in Washington, where everything's all expensive. $20 I can spend and get a big 50-pound bag. I'm still breaking that stuff up. But anyway, I got to get out of here. Hopefully you all have a great evening. Thanks for coming in and doing this live chat. This was really is a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody coming out. Hey, tell your friends, and hopefully you all have a great night. Keep growing. Take care.